Hold on here. Raider Nation, good evening. This is your captain speaking. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me get right quick. As everybody knows, draft was last week. We done pretty good. Traded back. Was really hoping that we took somebody that we could rock with right now. We have Kaptain Miller. He's a pretty good looking objective right tackle. But not only that, I believe that we also acquired another first round talent. There's 4 first round players I believe that we acquired during the draft season. First of them, like I said, we drafted Kaptain Miller. He's a swing tackle. He can play left and right. He's young. He's ready to go. He might not be the starter right now at left tackle, but one day he will be. Like they said, he's a 10-year vet. He's ready to go. He definitely could be that player. But also when we drafted back and traded back, we picked up Martavis Bryant with a 3rd round pick, who would probably, honestly, in my opinion, be the first receiver off the board this year. He's 6'4", he's quick. Honestly, to me, he's the best receiver out of Clemson and the best receiver Clemson has to offer. Only thing is, he got to stay clean. He got to stop smoking. Got to. That's number one thing. Arden Key is another potential first round pick that should have been drafted in the first round. His play style is very similar to some of the greats. He's a great edge rusher. He's able to come off the ball very quick, very strong, everything. You know, I mean, like, he's a big guy. He's 6'4", 6'6", 265. I mean, the guy is a freak. He's humongous. I mean, he's ready to go. Opposite Mac. We got Bruce Irvin playing the line this year. I believe that's going to help us up. He's an excellent edge rusher. He's ready to go. Those 3 ways right there. Maurice Hurst is the 3rd best player out the draft. Check this. He's the most consistent out of the defensive tackles that have been drafted this year. We drafted P.J. Hall to play right beside him. He's had 14 field goals blocked, which means he's excellent off the ball. He has great stamina to go up and through the line. I mean, he's a big guy. He's 6 foot. He's 308. So I mean, he's good, solid LaRock. He's nose tackle type player. So we build around him. He's the one gonna be right there beside Mac. That's 2 players blocked. That's exactly what I was looking for in the draft. It might have not been Vita Vea, but then again, who's Vita Vea? So, I mean, what's going on, Nicholas? Long and lanky, like Alden Smith, they said, yeah, but yeah, he's going to fill out nicely, I believe. Honestly, right there on the way. Yeah, definitely. What's going on is it? Everything is everything, baby. Raider Nation. Like I said, Martavis Bryant, he simply needs to stay clean. If he stays clean, all things are possible. He could be the next Jordy Nelson if he stayed clean. He's a slot receiver, play outside. Mari Cooper comes in, plays slot. I mean, either way, all the way. We also picked up Marcel Atman, who I wanted. Everybody said that he was going to be a 3rd round pick. I know I said he was going to be a 3rd round pick, so I'm lucky he fell all the way down there to where he did, and we picked up. I mean, excellent guy. He's 6'4". I mean, he's a good, solid guy. So I mean, he's someone definitely to pick up. They could honestly fit any scheme because he's so big. No Bowman, no. I'm not sure. Honestly, I believe Derek Johnson is just a leadership guy. It was more of a test of Bowman. I believe, the first day, and then we signed him 2 day. So I mean, I believe that it was if you want to play for us, come play for us. If you don't, we don't want you. I mean, that's what I believe. That's the way I'm looking at it. Markel Lee, I believe, could honestly be the answer at the middle position, as long as he continues to grow and show progression. As long as he doesn't recede and continues to be the player that he was at Wake Forest, all things are possible for Markel Lee. Just watch. Derek Johnson, I believe, is an upgrade over Bowman. Although he is older, he is more pass coverage friendly. Definitely, Bowman is asking way too much. $9 million. You're 30 years old. You've been hurt many times. Your knees are bad. You're slow out the slant. I mean, covering side to side. He can't really move laterally in a way that's going to really help us and really lead us. Although he is a run stopper, Derek Johnson is both of those things, and I believe he has more to coach up in the middle of the inside than Bowman could. I mean Bowman himself was a student of Patrick Willis, so it's not like Bowman came in and was a first round draft pick or either way and started right away. I mean he did play, but he was not the starting middle linebacker. The starting middle linebacker was Patrick Willis. So I mean, everybody needs to get that to grab. So Bowman, to me, I was kind of surprised when we signed him. I didn't think he was a 4-3 fit, but I mean, at the end of the day, he still did what he was supposed to and everything else. So I mean, but what's going on, Nicholas? Reed Johnson went to going to rebuild, and he wanted to stay. Yeah. That's really what I said. And honestly, to me, that's really a good thing, because he knows the offense, he knows the defense. He's went against the offense every week, so I mean, he knows what to look for when we play them. He's going to be able to help the other guys adjust and get right. So those 2 losses that we took, I mean, they won't be 2 losses. Yes, Tahir Whitehead is a tackler. He's going to be the one that I look at that's going to be the tackle machine this year. And you got that. And then you got Derek Johnson able to adjust on the fly. That right there is a major improvement over Bowman, simply because Bowman was simple and Bowman simply ran in the middle. I mean, he simply went after the quarterback. He simply went after the ball. Derek Johnson's going to call the ball, and everybody else is going to flow. That's more important. That's teamwork. My bad, y'all. Who do you think starts on the opposite side? Garyon Conley. Which best option in your opinion, bro? Dustin, to answer your question, what's his name? Melvin. Rasheed Melvin, that guy is a big dude. He's 6'2", 6'3", 214, something like that. He's a really good sized dude. He's what we was looking for in Sean Smith, but Sean Smith simply did not live up to expectation. And that's the main thing, is expectation. Everybody live up to what they're supposed to do. Everything's going to work this year. Our offense is going to be unstoppable. We finally got the offensive right because John Gruden is back. That's the simple fact. Captain Jack was more of a defensive specialist. He showed that he was incapable to lead the ship. John Gruden is going to be the answer. Our offense is going to be unstoppable now. It's all good, Vince. Irvin back to linebacker. I believe Irvin's going to play both ways. If we got 2 linebackers on the field, I believe it'll be Derek Johnson and Tahir Whitehead with Irvin on the ground. If we got 3, he'll be up, Arden Key will be over. So that's what I think. Melvin, yep, and he's hungry. Yeah, he's definitely ready to make a name for himself. And but the most impressive pickup from the draft to me was P.J. Hall. Honestly, that's one player I really didn't look at, but after going back and looking at his draft tape, him simply blocking 14 field goals attempts shows me that he is capable, shows me that he's explosive, and shows me that he can fit right there, right beside Mac. Cover up them two dudes. The guard in the center is going to be in trouble all day long because Mac is going to be loose and on the loose. I mean, with Maurice Hurst, I mean that right there is going to be another pass rush right up the middle. And then you got Arden Key, Bruce Irvin on the outside, opposite of Mac. I mean that right there, I mean, it's going to be deadly and it's going to be unstoppable. I mean, it ain't nothing like this before. So just as long as we can pressure the quarterback, the secondary is going to be fine. I believe Carl Joseph should be flipped over to the free safety side. Allow Obi-Wan the chance to make a change. Give him a chance. What about Carr? I don't trust him. Well, you must not be no Raider fan if you do not trust Derek. Our offensive line was the problem last year. They did simply not block him and got him hurt. So, I mean, once they didn't block him, got him hurt like that, I mean, it was all like that. I mean, if Carr hadn't got hurt last year, our whole season would have been different. But, I mean, things what they were, everything else fell apart. I mean, Carr couldn't do what Carr wanted to do because he was hurt all year. I mean, you gonna blame Carr for one bad year. Him and Hurst have a heart condition. I know them two gonna make hell. Who got a heart condition? The only person got heart condition is Hurst, but there's plenty players like that. Look at Star Little Tutu. Yeah, Star Little Tutu might not have been the best player in the world, but guess what? He was a first-round draft pick. I mean, Maurice Hurst should have been a first-round draft pick because he's a lot better than Star Little Tutu. Star Little Tutu ain't even on the team that drafted him no more. So I mean, what does that mean? PJ Hall ain't got no heart condition. The only person got a heart condition is Hurts, man. Hurts gonna be fine. Watch. You can. You really can. If they come from a big conference where they're playing everybody every week, I mean, Bob, it's different when you're playing in the Pac-12 when you ain't playing nobody. ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, those right there, they play everybody almost every week. They got somebody who's going up against somebody in every position every week. Martavis definitely could, but I believe he'll be the one in the slot, unless Jordy Nelson goes down. But Jordy Nelson goes down, I mean, then he'll step up. And like I said, man, I mean, we got Marcel Adman. He'll be number 4. Martavis Bryant, he'll be number 3. Amari gonna be Amari. I mean, so the receiving core is going to be there. Switzer, I believe, is going to be a nice little return guy for us. Definitely be able to change the pace at receiver, go from big guy to small guy, all at the same time, not losing no talent because he's still quick and he's still able to play. I mean, so exactly, that's what I believe. Hunter, Mr. Hunter, Jason Dean, my bad. How you think? I believe the secondary position is all reliant on how good the defensive line plays. If we play well in the trenches, everything else works. If we are sloppy in the trenches, everything else falls apart. That's the thing about teamwork. If teamwork, we work together, we grow together. Nelson and Leon Hall, I believe, both will make the team this year simply because they know the defense. They know the defense so well that they're going to earn their spot. I believe Reggie Nelson is going to go over to strong safety, help Obi-Wan there, And then you got Leon Hall at number 4 on the cornerback position, where it's not really too much ask of him unless we got 4 receivers out there. Because I mean, you got to remember the guy was the number 1 draft pick. So I mean, I believe that he still has some talent, or we wouldn't have signed him. Yeah, Rashad Melvin. Like I said, Dustin, I believe Markel Lee is the answer when it comes down to the middle linebacker position, but it's just going to be a matter of time. Derek Johnson is a fill-in for him. Derek Johnson is going to show him how to lead, and Derek Johnson is going to help him every step of the way. Markel Lee is going to grow up into maybe 2 years from now and probably be one of the best middle linebackers in the game. He's not the fastest, but he is one of the smartest, and he will hit you. So I mean, that's what we're looking for. Raider Nation all day, baby. Roberts probably gonna keep. Probably not. Probably not. He's probably gonna be lost. We definitely should get something. He's definitely not reliable, Mario. Right. Wide receiver. Like I said, wide receiver is set, man. Jordy Nelson, Mari Cooper, Martavis Bryant, that right there is deadly. You add in the fact that we got 2 power backs and 2 speeds backs this year. I mean, that right there is going to work. We got a fullback that's not scared to hit anybody. So, I mean, just as long as the offensive line works this year, everything else is going to work too, man. Gunther's defense is good, man. It's crazy how simple it looks to have cornerbacks like that. I mean, because he doesn't have a true number 1 cornerback out there, and he didn't have one out there in Cincy. I mean, Drake Kirkpatrick, really. I mean Adam Jones, really. I mean, but he made little talent out and made him really good by creating pressure the way that he does. I mean, you got the outside right, you got the middle read up and sewn up. I mean, everything else falls into place. Roberts is a sneaky receiver. I do agree with that, but at the same time, I believe his time's up. Raiders all day, baby. They did, because we fell apart, bro. I mean, from Captain Jack to not knowing what to do with the offensive coordinator position, trusting Todd Downing, and then Ken Norton just being Ken Norton. I mean, Ken Norton should have been demoted or fired a long time ago. Yeah, Jason Dean, exactly. That's the thing, and that is the right way, because that's what the draft is for. You draft players on potential, and they live up to it. You give them every chance to succeed, to live up to what you believe they are, and if they don't live up to it by year 3 or 4, then you cut them, not just off 1 year. Johnson is leadership. He definitely is, and like I said, he made 2 games a whole lot easier this year. Exactly. People forget about Doug Martin. Doug Martin is a wrecking ball himself. With Marshawn Lynch help, I believe Doug Martin could get back to being Doug Martin again. I mean, it's been a long time, but I also believe that power backs don't just die. Exactly, Jason Dean, and that's the thing with a player like Khalil Mack. I mean, you can line him up on either side. You can line him up at linebacker. Bruce Irvin, same thing. I mean, and now we got Arden Key outside on either way. I mean, that right there is gonna be cause for a lot of matchups. I definitely agree, Bob, but at the same time, I believe Jordy Nelson is going to simply be the number 1 receiver just because of where number 1s line up. it's going to be more effective to have Jordy Nelson right there than anybody else. And then they're going to probably switch out with Amari, or they'll switch out Jordy Nelson and Amari and bring in Martavis Bryant. I mean, because if you do that, I mean that's going to give us a whole lot of different looks. And I mean, with Martavis being in the middle, he's bigger than Amari is. I mean, and him being 6'4", yeah, I mean that's going to create a lot more space to catch the ball than being 6'1". Time drowning. Yep, definitely was drowning. Exactly. But the same thing. At the same time, the power run that I believe that he's going to bring to us is going to be a little bit different than what we normally done. You got to think about it, man. John Gruden has been in the booth watching football for the past 10 years. Primetime football on top of that. So you look at that. Think about everything, every kind of scenario that he's seen. Look at every bad call, everything that went wrong for every other coach. Look at everything that has happened on Monday Night Football. Touchception, all that, everything like that, everything he's seen, everything he's called. I mean, and once you look at that right there is going to open up that playbook so much more and give him a different outlook than what he once had, which was already strange. So you take that strangeness, that power run offense that he used to run, and then you add a couple little trick plays in it that ain't nobody seen yet. Just watch how powerful that's going to be. Exactly, Nicholas. That's what Martin wants to do. Martin wants to show the world that he's not what he's looking like. Exactly, Nicholas. Route skills and hands, Jordy Nelson all day. Is this Penn's last year? Seems like they're on the way up based on our drafts. This probably will be Penn's last year with us. We got him signed up. Colt Miller, this is going to be his first year at right tackle. Next year, he'll flip over to the left, protect Derek Carr. Brandon Parker will be the right tackle, I believe. He looks really good. He's a big guy. He's a strong guy. Only thing is, he needs to work on his strength and make sure that his power is coming from where it needs to come from and how it needs to flow through on his technique, because some of it's just a little bit off. But if he gets right, I mean, he's going to be really right. He is a bad man. Aaron Hurts, you're right. Exactly. Because our defensive line is going to be able to be switched up so differently and so frequently. I mean, the defensive tackle position is very deep this year. That's the thing. We don't really have that number one still, but we have enough depth and enough ability to bring out different kind of sets every play and be the team that everybody wishes they were, because our four linemen don't get tired. Our four linemen aren't four linemen. Our four linemen are seven linemen. And Khalil Mack is out there every play being Khalil Mack. Misu, that's the thing too. Amari and Martavis, I believe, going to flip-flop slot receiver. That's what I really see happening. But at the same time, I believe Amari and Nelson are going to flip-flop too and keep him healthy and bring Martavis out on the field like that too. So, I mean, we might have two receivers out there, but it might be Nelson and Coop, or it might be Coop and Bryant, or it might be Nelson and Bryant, or it might be that's the thing. That's the really good thing. We're not just at one guy like we used to be. We're not just right there. We don't just have that number one guy. We got four different number one guys at all position, and they all work together. So they don't care if they're out there every play. They want to help each other. They want to grow. They want to be the team that everybody wants to be. And it's not just me, it's us. I mean, that's the mentality that we're bringing in. I mean, just like Arden Key. I mean, yeah, he was smoking, he was doing that, but at the same time, he checked himself into rehab for it. I mean, it's not like he was out there trying to still play and do it, but I mean, he stopped playing football and went to rehab. So I mean, him and Bryant, I believe, need to be best friends, because it takes one to know one and keep them clean. Do it together. Teamwork. Exactly. Every quarterback. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. What did Gruden say a couple years ago? Gruden was talking to Derek Carr. Derek Carr. Gruden said, only quarterback I want, Derek Carr. I mean, that makes perfect sense. He wants to come. He sees Derek Carr. He knows Derek Carr. He sees Derek Carr number one. He knows he's the best player. He knows he's the best quarterback. He knows he got them rings inside of him. He's going to bring them out of him. I guarantee that. Mismatches all everywhere. Exactly. And that's what we were supposed to have last year. But this year, this is going to be the year. Our defense is going to be right. Paul Gunther, I mean, he knows how to work a defense. Might have some sorry players, but just as long as you got players in position and players that's willing to play their part, everything's going to work. Then that's all he needs. Because as long as they all work together, everything else is going to come on. Oh, and that Mac factor, he gets double or even triple with the chip block. Exactly. So you take that. Who's going to cover the rest of the guys? Who's going to cover Bruce Irvin coming from the other side? Who's going to cover P.J. Hall that's already coming through the line? You better hope that you triple block him. That's what you're going to need to do. And then you got Hurst willing and ready to split every block. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's the only thing that's going to happen. Just win, baby. That's all we're going to do. Just win. Just win, baby. I guarantee you we're going to win at least 10 games this year. And we're going to make the playoffs. Exactly. That's what Carr told him. You right. That's right. As soon as Gruden as soon as Gruden walked in the building, Carr called him up, said, "Let's win some more, baby." He knows what's on the way. The only thing that I don't really like Greg Olson. This is the only thing I don't really like. But then again, Greg Olson, I mean, with John Gruden's help, I believe Greg Olson will be all right. But Greg Olson by himself, somebody need to pray for him. So somebody need to help him. Exactly. Irvin coming. And that's the thing. And like I said, man, the only thing we need to do is work together. That's all we need to do, man. That's all we need to do. See that shield right there, man? If you watching this right now, man, this shield right here is everything, man. That's all everybody need to know, baby. This teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work, baby. That's the only thing. I definitely agree, because Mitsu, he had plenty of opportunities to get signed, and he ain't want them. He wanted to stay in that booth. But the moment he got this coach Derek Carr, he came out of there quick, didn't he? Came up out of there real quick. John Gruden, I mean Captain Jack wasn't even fired yet, man. He was already out the seat. He was ready. He was waiting. I definitely agree, Jason Dean. He just there. John Gruden's the one really in control this time. John Gruden, baby. I'm not gonna call him the next Al Davis, but he still gonna have that mystique, that Chucky, you know that everybody love, baby. Raider Nation, baby. Just win, baby. Who puts down the Raider love? Everybody put down that Raider love, baby. If you real Raider fan, that gotta hold that thing high, baby. Yeah, y'all see me drinking out my girl cup. Yeah. It's a big cup. Big old cup. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? But like I said, I definitely believe that Leon Hall, Reggie Nelson gonna make the roster simply for their leadership capabilities. If Derek Carr has a good season, Raiders defense plays well, Raiders could possibly go 10-6. They might be good enough to win AFC West. I definitely agree with that. I don't trust Patrick Mahomes. Old man Rivers is getting old. He lost Antonio, little Crimea Gates. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Denver, do they have a quarterback? Is Case Keenum really what he was last year? Or was that or was that just the offense? Sharing mean caring, baby. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, we got 3 potential for first round draft picks. That's what I believe. Colton Miller, he's gonna pan out. He's gonna be able to play both sides. He's gonna do whatever we need him to do. I believe so. I believe Tom Cable's gonna be able to make him the player that he needs to be, that he can be. After Donald Penn gets gone, like I said, I believe Brandon Parker's gonna take over that right tackle position. He's gonna go to left tackle. That's gonna give Kalichi, Rodney, Gabe Jackson all the help they need on them outsides. What is after Cook? I don't know. I don't know why we got rid of Clive Walford. I really don't know that. I thought that was the whole reason why we brought Jared Cook in, to teach him how to play like him. But Lee Smith is the blocking tight end, as everybody know. So I guess really that's the only position that we really have that really should have been addressed. But I mean, you can always find a decent tight end in the free agency. I love the picks. We are the first team ever to spend first 4 draft picks on 4 linemen. First 4 picks on linemen. We are the first team. But like I said before, the war is won in the trenches. If you don't win the fight at the line, ain't nothing work. And ain't nothing ever gonna work unless you win the ball. If you win the snap, everything else falls into place. That's what I believe, Jason Dean. He had he had an arsenal of weapons that at his disposal in the offensive line that could block for him, but the defensive folded up. Yes, definitely believe in Gruden, baby. Gruden. Should have never been fired. I guarantee you, if Al and him hadn't been arguing, he would have never been traded, and he would have been the head coach right now to this day. Yes, Lee has shown that he can catch the ball from Carr, but at the same time, he's really not the pass catcher. He's definitely more of the blocking type. I mean, he's old school, rather tear your head off type of player. Exactly. I definitely agree. Every one of our draft picks will pay off for us this year. That's what I do believe, because back in the day, it was Reggie McKenzie. He was drafting all by himself. This year, he was not by himself at all. John Gruden was in there all the way. He told him who he wanted. And Reggie did everything that he could to make sure that he got the type of players that John wanted in there. And it wasn't just flimsy DJ Hayden. It wasn't just flimsy whoever. It was good. It was good, solid thinking picks. I mean, it took me a while to see the right in what they done, but at the same time, I mean, some of the most beautiful things make you sit back and think. Exactly, and that's what we need to do. Is if we're running the ball, we need Lee Smith out there. If we're throwing the ball, we need Jared Cook out there, and vice versa. But at the same time, that's definitely what we need to do, because if we want to run outside, we need the tight end that's going to block outside. We don't need Jared Cook out there that don't know how to block. We need Jared Cook out there catching the ball in the middle of the field, 50 yards down the field. That's what we need. But like I said, I definitely think that we got receivers of the future. We got everybody in place for a long run. Ryan Switzer, Marcel Atman, Martavis Bryant from this year, I believe, are going to be the crew, the cream that Coop need to make Coop be that number one, and gonna help push him to be that number one receiver. Coop is gonna grow into that number one receiver, but Jordan Nelson's got the spot. Jordan Nelson, as long as he stay healthy, is gonna grab. He's definitely an upgrade over Crabtree. I don't care who you are. Jordan Nelson is definitely an upgrade over Crabtree. He adds the height, and he's big. Maury, he's still quick. He's 6'1". He's the short guy on the pole besides Ryan Switzer. Ryan Switzer is going to be a return specialist, along with being that fifth receiver out there. So, I mean, he's not going to be counted on all that much. Exactly. I would have definitely took him too. He looks pretty good. I think we should get rid of Trevecchio by next year or sooner. It's inconsistent and cost us wins last year. I agree, but he's definitely a tough guy. Pinero out of Florida that we signed as an undrafted free agent, and Johnny Townsend, I believe they could be the next duo of Shane Leclerc and Seabass. But only time would tell if he could match up with Seabass, due to Seabass being that first round draft pick and being around forever. But if he can kick the ball like he was kicking at Florida, then all things. Him and Trevecchio, I believe that's going to be a fight. If he's not on the team, he'll be on the practice squad. And if Trevecchio has problems this year, he'll be benched, he'll be pulled, he'll be cut. Pinero will step up and take over, and won't lose a beat. Might be better. It's going to be a fight. I don't think it's going to be just here's your job, but I believe they're going to give Trevecchio a shot. I mean, you got to remember Trevecchio was still there under Seabass. And learned a lot from Seabass. And you know, Seabass ain't just leave him out there high and dry. Seabass showed him the way, showed him how to be a real good kicker, showed him how to do what he needed to do when he got it done. I mean, that's the thing, and that's what we look for. That's what we need. That's what we shouldn't need. But I mean, at the end of the day, I would much rather have someone who can hit 50-yarders than someone who can't. I mean, that's what I'm definitely going to take. I'm definitely going to take someone who's going to be able to kick me 50-yard field goals at the highest rate, rather than someone who's not going to be able to kick them that far. Gruden is going to bring the best out of you right. Gruden is master of discipline. Gruden is a light. He is the light bearer of us. He's what we've been missing. And like I said, if he had been not, or if him and Al hadn't been fighting, I guarantee you he would have been the head coach to this day. Jason Dean, yeah, man, I like him, but it's not just that I like him. It's the fact that he learned from Seabass. That's why I'm still gonna give him the nod and give him the go ahead. unless he has problems during preseason. Now, if he has them same problems that he's had last year with preseason, then yeah, go ahead and cut him. But if he's coming through and he's showing strong, I mean, don't just cut him off for one bad year. Gotta go with it, fam. All right, Nicholas, hold it down, baby. I think it would be interesting if Pinero did take the job, man. Having a reuniting from Florida to Pinero and Townsend and Black and Silver, I definitely would like that. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, ain't nothing guaranteed. I mean, can he make them through? Can he bang the field goals? If he can bang the field goals, I take him. But if Trevecchio shows to be better, that's all I'm saying. But also what I am saying is that the defensive line is going to be a whole lot better than last year. Our play calling on both sides of the ball are going to be a whole lot better than last year. Our leadership, our dedication, our follow through on the dedication is going to be a whole lot stronger than last year. The thing is, Michael Crabtree did run the offense, did run the chemistry, did run his mouth for the offense. But at the same time, Derek Carr needs to step up and be the one who's the one talking, who's the one leading that offense, leading that locker room like it needs to be led. And everybody knows Khalil Mack is out there and taking charge of what he needs to take care of. Right. I do agree with that too, though, man. But at the same time, I mean, he ain't never been in that position before, man. I mean, in preseason, and then even then, he really ain't get too many kicks. I mean, but it takes a lot, man. I mean, you gotta have it, man, to be able to do it. And I mean, the thing is, he showed that he could bang him through that far, but he was just inconsistent. That is the truth. He was inconsistent. But with first year jitters out the way, could he be better? Could he get better than what he was last year? Or is he simply that, what he was last year? I mean, that's the thing. Man, yeah, but the plan is not to get Carr hurt, not to need a backup. I mean, and even then, I mean, EJ, man. I don't know what's wrong with him. I really don't know what's wrong with him. He won national championship and all and everything. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with him. He needs to get his life right. That's probably really what it is. He needs to get his life right. Connor Cook need to get his life right. I don't know. I don't know what they done last year. It was like they smoking crack or something. I don't know what they got going on, man. They just need they need to study. They need to get their arms right. They need to learn how to throw the ball. They need to learn how to work together. They need to learn how to lead the men on the field rather than trying to leave it up to Carr from the sideline. I mean, they got to step up as men and be able to take control of any situation given to them. And EJ has definitely showed that he could do it under the right circumstance, but at the same time, he's not lived up to potential at all. I mean, he was a first round draft pick and throws the most interceptions in the world, man. Or not just that, but he doesn't know how to read a defense. That's really what I think it is. He don't know what he's looking at. Right, exactly, man. I mean, that's the thing, man. They need to learn how to read the defense, because that's the biggest thing. Because they hit plays, but at the end of the day, the more plays that they don't hit, I mean they hit less plays than they miss. I mean, and they try sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's either getting picked off or it's incomplete all the way. I mean, like they throwing it 10 miles over their head or on their feet or just not even doing what they need to do at all. I mean, they would rather mess around and play around rather than not. I mean, like they don't know how to run the offense at all. Like, that's really the offensive coordinator's fault, especially last year with Todd Downing. But that was just the worst calls that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, from anywhere. I mean, you call crazy play, and then you finally get one that works, and then you call crazy play. I mean, like run up the middle, and then fake a punt. I mean, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean you got beast mode that definitely should work. 3 runs up the middle, but I mean this definitely ain't no college football. This is the NFL where they're going to hit you and going to make sure that you know that you got hit. So I mean it ain't no playing around with that. Right. They need to go back to summer school. They need to go back to the chalkboard and make sure they know what position they're playing or something. Make sure they know the rules and regulations about what's going on out there, rather than act like they don't have no kind of idea of what's asked of them or how to throw the ball when it needs to get out of their hands. I mean, like, for real. But y'all got any questions, man? I mean, what are y'all looking at? I mean, cause really, honestly, that's about all I really got. The most important thing is our coming up from our defensive line is that's definitely what I see this improvement, and being able to go 4-way at defensive tackle, I believe is going to be more impactful than just having that one guy and another guy beside him. But actually being able to switch out, excuse me, by the way, but being able to switch out and rotate those guys. You got them 2, you got them 4, Jelly, Trayvon Hester. I believe Darius Latham could work into the mix too, but I believe we're going to stick at 4. Mo Hurts, PJ Hall, Trayvon Hester, big old Jelly. What I didn't understand last season is why didn't we run beast mode? Because we was unsure if he could handle the workload. I believe, and was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to hurt himself. But then again, we definitely should have. And but I still say it should have been more about 15 to 18 times, and the rest of the carries go between the speedsters. But I don't know. We didn't use them right at all either. I mean, we definitely should have been throwing the ball to them out of the backfield. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, it was like Todd Downing didn't have any idea about how to run an offense to be asking to be an offensive coordinator. We need the pressure to help. Exactly. It all builds from the lines, and if the lines don't work, ain't nothing else gonna work. And that's no matter where you're at. If you're in high school football, if you're in college football, if you're in pee-wee football, if your offensive and defensive lines do not work, it's not going to work. But if they work and everything else works together, and the line works together, everything else falls into place. It doesn't matter what kind of play you call then. You can call the most backyard of plays, and it's still going to work because the guys worked together to make it done, to make it so, to make sure that it was working. How about this? Todd Downing had the keys to a Ferrari, but he chose to drive a Volvo. That's exactly what it was, Jason Dean. Our backups was not ready to take over, And Todd Downing had no idea about what to do to even try to fix the situation. There's somebody else. I really, I don't know about Mario, man. I mean, can he stay healthy? Does he know how to do that? I'm not sure if he knows how to do that, man. If he ever figured it out, I definitely take him back on the team, man. You know who else I take on the team? Lamar Houston. Because then we wouldn't even have to put Irvin in the dirt. Our D-line and DBs have to make more plays this year. You are definitely right. But guess what? That the defensive backs can only do as much as the defensive line allow them to do. Because if they do not create any kind of pressure up there, they're not going to be able to have no time to get in place or get ready for the ball to be thrown. But if the defensive line hurries that quarterback up, that's going to give them that time to say, okay, I'm going to beat you every play. But guess what? I'm not even going to have to really. I'm just going to have to beat that ball because our line is coming for your quarterback. And if he doesn't let it go, or if he lets it go at the wrong time, it's coming to me. So to me, that's really the thing. And like I said, I'm a little league coach, so I mean, I got a little better idea of what I'm talking about. Finished third in the state. And the funny thing about it is we are the Gators. And at the same time, we drafted 2 kickers from the Gators. Well, we drafted 1 punter from the Gator. And then we signed his homeboy, which is the kicker, from the Gators. Irvin, he could stay there, but I believe he needs to be a rotational player. That's what I think. I mean, he needs to be what Mac was year 1. He needs to be able to go from the line to outside linebacker with no problem at all. I definitely think it could happen, Matt. If he can't pass that physical, I'm pretty sure we will cut him and not look back on it. Because Arden Key, that's what I will say. Because he is the one that we're looking at, and he is the one that truly can make a difference in the game. Because honestly, that 99, he reminds me a lot of Alden Smith. Alden Smith was a phenomenal player, but he was retarded. But with John Gruden guidance and perseverance, I don't see a problem with that. I don't think anything could go wrong with that. And honestly, that's why I think that we drafted the players that we did with the red flags that they had. Because John Gruden believes that he can fix that. But I'm about to call it, y'all. It's always a pleasure and an honor. I've been waiting to say that since the draft, because you know that guy came out there and said that like 4 or 5 times. Said it was a pleasure and an honor rather than an honor and a pleasure. So, this is your captain signing off. Good night, Raider Nation.